So my grandfather was probably the greatest influence in my life. As my grandfather aged and he got sick, and just before he was about to die, I was sitting with him, and it was about 3 days out, and I asked my grandfather by his bedside, "Olna napa, yupade na yalanji na nungai, dongana na yupade na majai. What's my responsibility as a Yalanji man?" And he said, "Napa, yupade na goka yalanji na waware na dungai ana na yupade na gapanyang." It's like your responsibility as a Gokwa Yaranji man is to be able to take another man or woman by the hands, regardless of colour or creed, and then walk them across your country or across country and allow them to feel what you feel when you're walking across country. And so, that's why coming along on a trip like this, it does symbolise that. It's about taking men and women from other worlds, from other walks of life, and allowing to walk with us on this journey. So you can see a gateway into the lives of our people, from where it was, what it is, and what we dream as Aboriginal people for it to continue to be.
This year it was really important for us to actually go back to Murray Island and to the Torres Strait. I think what we've done in previous years is made a commitment that after we visited one community, it was really important to build sustainable relationships. The significance of Bond University taking a group of principals and entrepreneurs together to build relationships with rural, remote Indigenous communities gives us a deeper understanding of the educational needs of those young people.
Ironically, even though I have practiced in the area for certainly 25 years since the Mabo case, but even before then, I had never been to Murray Island, and so getting to go to Murray Island was both a personal and professional milestone. So it gave me an opportunity to put a lot of my professional life in context. But the other wonderful thing it did was to, in a sense, enliven what the next 25 years might be as well.
The most impactful thing for me on this trip has been the visit to Eddie Mabo's grave. I think it's a place of such national significance in Australia's history. It was quite touching to visit there.
The highlight of the last 4 or 5 days for me was definitely meeting the beautiful local children. They're so confident, and their energy levels and their smiles was beautiful and rewarding, and I'd love to see that remain in their future.
The parents here have the same aspirations for their children that every parent I see in mainland Australia having. So the challenge for them is that they don't have the opportunity. They don't have the school down the road. They have to send their children away. And remember that secondary school starts in year 7, so they're sending their young children away. So it's very challenging for them in that regard.
Look, I think education across the board is the ticket for social mobility. I think it's incredibly important, and even more so for a remote community, because obviously those particular kids they're disadvantaged in terms of a number of things that perhaps kids in urban environments or city environments or rural environments even, and so to provide them with opportunities that they can grow into perhaps dreams that they don't know what they could be.
Education is the key for you to own your own home, for you to own your own dinghy, for you to be recognised as such in your community.
The one thing that's going to close the gap more than anything else is going to be education of the Indigenous and Torres Strait Islander kids. But then it can't be the be all and end all, because if people get to the end of their education, that of itself, they've got to have something beyond that.
I think change has to start with women. Women are the ones in the community that not only make the difference, but they're the ones that are holding families together, they're holding communities together.
The best armour a Meriam woman can put on to face the challenges of today is to be educated. With education comes knowledge, with knowledge comes power, power to speak and to be heard.
I think for me it's about hearing about Melora's story and the passion that she has about her children and the children of her community. How do we find them jobs? What is their opportunity? And therefore what can they bring back into Mer?
The major take home for me is just listen, listen, listen. I really want Bond University and the faculty to be a major part of what we can do better and what we can learn from communities about educational and health and wellbeing outcomes.
Yarning up is so important. That's what we're doing here. We're meeting with the communities, we're talking, we're being quite open about the issues, the opportunities, and that's the beauty of a broad group of people coming together to really explore and to understand and to get those insights We're not going to get that sitting behind our desks.
A part of our trip coming up to the Torres Strait, witnessing what's happening and all the challenges, I think we've just come here really to build relationships, and through those relationships we can come up with healthy, sustainable decisions. So it's not to come here and be a saviour, it's to come here and be socially responsible, especially as educators, and play our part in what needs to be done.